Greetings. All right, so today I wanted to go through a message and explain how that as a spiritually enlightened individual, you at home can actually ask for supernatural guidance along your journey and path in life. And as a spiritual healer, a yoga therapist, humanitarian, ordained minister, and much more. You yourself can become one who knows all, one who sees all, one who can get answers to everything and be divinely guided along your path and your journey in order that you would not be in danger, lack, or limitation in anything you ever do. So if that is something that you want in your life, then follow along with me as we go through this following message. All right, so okay, I'm trying to fix this camera because I do not like the way it's looking. All right, you guys, I really need to set up my room better, my meditation room. I just got done with a little workout, so all right. All right. So what we're going to do at home is I have the master key and I have the tarot, the art of seduction, 3 tarot decks, the New Testament mini because it has the Psalms and Proverbs, the Bible, to be quite honest, I have not made these videos because I have a lot of friends who have very strong religious beliefs. And I have been involved in many heavy debates about different types of spiritual practices. What is right? What is wrong? What is evil? What is good? What is satanic? What is divinely guided? What is not divinely guided? And people all have their own different little descriptions and definitions of what they think their spiritual beliefs are. And some people tend to have very strong convictions that make it very difficult to make it very difficult to get along. If you have different spiritual beliefs and one person is telling you, you have to pray like this, you have to, look like this, you have to, you know, let's say this, for example. I have been in various religious organizations that have literally said that, there's evil in the drum. They don't even have drums in their church. I've heard of other religious people who say that, you should meditate like this because Haile Selassie meditated like that. Or I've been around people who said, you should definitely wear a long skirt and be more modest. Like what I'm wearing right now is way too risque. Don't show any flesh. Women should be adorned by grace and inner beauty. So, I have heard every single different you should and shoulds being placed on people in the name of religion. So I know I have some very strong Christian friends and Rastafarian friends and Buddhist friends. I have atheist friends, pagan friends. I have people who are into the Urantia book. I know people who do yoga. I know people who uh, who do yoga who don't believe in reincarnation, and some do. You know, so whatever your belief is, I'm not here to argue about that. I'm just here to be a vessel and a messenger. And I'm tired of people and things getting in my way, which is usually fear of what people are going to say. Do I look okay? Is my eyeliner on good enough? Is the lighting okay? Oh, geez, I look a little flabby, you know? So for me, I'm I have a message and I really need to give it to you guys. This isn't about me, and I'm sorry that I've gotten in the way for so long, because it's really prevented me from being able to be a true vessel and channel for the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, the divine goddess energy, creative life force energy that surges through me to be able to speak to you and to show you, to give you guidance, to bring you messages. So here, what I wanted to do is go ahead and give you a few messages that you at home might actually benefit from. And so what those are going to be based on what I feel is the predominant energy that is out there that needs healing. So my passion is healing. And the reason why is because okay, so for me, it's just something I feel like I'm called in the field of healing, and healing being medicine, healing being herbal medicine, healing being detoxing, healing being yoga and fitness, healing being teaching people how to eat and prep their food, healing being naturopathic medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, Thai yoga therapy, chiropractic, massage therapy, healing being energy work, Reiki, crystals, spiritual healing, um, and a variety of different assessment tools and everything. Because when you see your body, or when you feel your body like, in pain, and then you don't, and then that pain goes away, like, it's real, it works, right? Or if you go get a diagnosis from the doctor and they say, oh, I need to give you drugs and surgery, and then you're like, all right, F you, and you go and, figure out like new ways, innovative ways to heal yourself. It's profound, because like you realize, oh, you mean they wanted to really truly give me like surgery and like cut that out of my body? Like, I could totally do something totally natural and easy and safe, and I don't have to go through the process of recovery. Or if you've gone through surgery, you know that it takes time to recover. So, like, recovery is a catch word. It means that you have recently undergone any type of stress in the body, whether that be energetical, spiritual, mental, emotional, environmental, ecclesiastical, occupational, emotional, financial, any kind of stress, death in the family, move, divorce, a breakup, graduate school, studying for finals, whatever it is, that if you've gone through any kind of stress, my job is to show you holistic ways that you can heal from stress. So the focus of this particular little video is to bring a message. And this happens every time I do this, is that all of a sudden I get like gun shy. Like, this is very difficult for me to do, because I don't know how many people watch these videos. I don't know what their thoughts are. I have no idea. And it's really not up to me to care what other people think or say about anything I do. And I know that, but still, I always think, well, what are people going to think? I think about what other people are going to think more so than what I want. And it's a problem. So the reason why, I am really interested in the healing arts is because I myself have needed healing and recovery, something I've gone through. And the human body is sort of my fortress. I am an, like, basically, I might look like a white girl with short hair and, like from America, but I'm an ancient Zulu goddess, medicine woman, warrior, tribal woman. And, I might look like this, but inside of me, like, I got some ancient tribal power. And it's from the divine, it's from Goddess, it's from Mother Earth, it's from a heavenly source, it's from Zion. And it is divine and it's in all of us. So when I encounter people who are seeking healing or they encounter me, it is always, always imperative that you realize that you're dealing with supernatural forces here. We're dealing with forces outside of us that are affecting us. So when we start getting into spiritual work, like, it's important to keep your focus on what you want and to realize that there's spiritual forces and energies that affect all of us. Some are good and some aren't. So, like, angels, demons, aliens, whatever your beliefs are and all that kind of shit. Like, sometimes people actually kind of think that their beliefs, everyone should believe it. If you ever meet someone who's really into, like, talking about the Illuminati and then, the chemtrails and aliens and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's fascinating and it's amazing. But when it comes to realizing how incredibly powerful the human brain is and the energy that you exert, it's really, don't let this supposed outside machine Babylon, like, get you. Like, don't believe in the hype. Do what you can to keep your energy strong and be healthy. Make wise choices, of course. Contact me for holistic health consulting, nutritional consulting, and the reason why is because if you want an actual clear picture of what is going on with your body, from your kidneys to your liver to your lungs to your digestive tract, you can contact me and I will give you a consultation and an assessment by a variety of ways, and you will get specific information. Now, I'm going to go back to this message. Here's what we'll do is open up today with a message from Proverbs. Okay, it's telling me to read the Psalms. This video is already 14 minutes long, and I didn't even really do anything yet. Damn. Well, if you guys are watching and you're still watching at home, that's cool. Like, all right, so the scripture of the day. The law of the supernatural, divine, life force energy, all of creation, is perfect, reviving the soul. The testimony of the divine life force creative energy that surges through my being is pure, enlightening the eyes. That's profound. The precepts of the divine life force energy that surges through us. The life force energy is right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the most high energy, vibrational forces of love and goodness and kindness is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear. What is the fear? What do you fear? What do you fear? Do you fear karma, karmic retribution, punishment, what people will think, what they will say, where your next life is after this one? How will you die? How will you pay your bills? What do you fear, truly? The thing I fear is not living my life to the fullest. Like, the thing I fear is settling. The thing I fear is getting old. The thing I fear is getting fat. The thing I fear is getting just blasé and complacent. I fear that. But the thing is that it keeps me on my toes. And no, of course, you shouldn't go around fearing things. And the law of attraction says that whatever you focus on, you get more of. So of course not. But if I sit down and think about certain things that just give me like the creepers is thinking about those things, which I don't, then I'm not going to think about that. So what I'm saying here is that, what endures forever is spirit, and fearing anything other than not being true and righteous and, altogether a positive, upright, rejoiceful, joyful creator person. That's what I fear. I fear being like a Debbie Downer and someone who's just like always negative and so I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to do what I need to do to stay positive and build my life and strategically plan what I want. So that's the message of the day today. And I'm going to follow that with our book that we are in chapter 3 of the Master Key. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and summarize each paragraph, because this is a message. So I don't want it to be like I'm reading this. I can use anything that has I can utilize the sources of intelligence that I have access to get information to bring to you, because it is divine. So here, cease and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm. Cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. Mind is the master weaver, both of the interior garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance. You have found that the individual may act on the universal. I can act on the universal, and that the result of this action and interaction is cause and effect. My thought is the cause, and the experiences around me are the effect. I eliminate all forms of complaining and fear. I eliminate them because it rests with me solely to change it. I take this back. We're going to go to part 4. I already read this. In part 4, you will learn what you think, do, or feel is an indication of what you are. That's some powerful shit right there. Thought is energy, and energy is power, and it is because of all the religions, sciences, and philosophies with which the world has been familiar, has been based on the manifestation of this energy instead of the energy itself. and the world has been limited to effects while causes have been ignored or misunderstood. That right there is Western medicine. Exactly right there. Looking at the effect, not the cause. Looking at the symptom, not the root. For this reason, we have God and the devil in religion, positive and negative in science, and good and bad in philosophy. The master key, this book we're going through, reveals the process. It's interested only in cause. How can we make shit happen? How can we make something happen? How can we strategically manifest exactly what we want? Here's how. This book. Now, if you want to secure health, harmony, abundance, and whatever else is necessary for your welfare and happiness, continue to follow along with me in this series on the Master Key. This is chapter 4. My life is expressive. It's my business to express myself harmoniously and constructively. It is your business to to express yourself. It's your business to express yourself. Now, think about that. Sorrow, misery, unhappiness, disease, and poverty are not necessities, and we are constantly eliminating them. But this process of eliminating consists in rising above and beyond limitation of any kind. He who has strengthened and purified his thought need not concern himself with microbes, diseases. If you understand the law of abundance, the law of attraction, the way that your mind works, if you understand this, you might call it yoga, you might call it prophecy, you might call it whatever you want, but you have access to the source, the supply. I have access to the supply of all understanding. The I of me is not my physical body. It's simply an instrument. My body is just a vessel. That's all it is. But what directs and controls my body? What determines how I will do something or how I will act? The I is the sense of me, the power that I have. My personality is made up of characteristics, peculiarities, habits, and traits of character. These are the result of my former method of thinking, but they have nothing to do with who I really am. When you say I think, the I tells the mind what it will think. When you say I go, the I tells the body where it will go. The real nature of this I is spiritual. The real power which comes to all of us comes into a realization of our true nature. So, what is your true nature? What is my true nature? What are we called to do? The greatest and most marvelous power which this I has been given is the power to think. But few people know how to think constructively or correctly. Consequently, they achieve only indifferent results. Most people allow their thoughts to dwell on selfish purposes, the inevitable result of an infantile mind. When a mind becomes mature, it understands that the germ of defeat is in every selfish thought. So, who am I? I recognize that I have an ability to facilitate and concentrate. I can concentrate on anything. I can put my mind and my focus on anything. That is the greatest, hardest, most difficult task on earth, is to focus your mind. It's the hardest thing to do. I'm telling you. There's nothing more challenging than focusing your mind. If more people did it, there would be more, you would be Everyone would be exactly living how they wanted to. What we do is we focus on things we don't want. We focus on the stress. We talk about it. We write about it. We complain about it. We go to therapy about it. We do all this shit to deal with all the stress. And then when you go get guidance, all someone does is say, "Oh, here's what you're doing. You're thinking you're stressing out." Well, duh. Well, what do I do? How do I change that? Um, so if you recognize that you have the ability to change your thoughts and start directing your life exactly the way you want, design it the way you want, as if you're putting on an event. It's a wedding, it's a party, it's a celebration, it's a workshop, retreat, who knows what it is. But let's say your life is an event. How would you design it? What would you be doing? What would you be hosting? What would you be providing for a very important person in your life? If you could organize a vacation with them, what would it look like? You know, if you could put together your life as if you're the leading character in a play, what would it look like? Or would you be the director and you would just hire out all the people? You know, these are ways that you can start using your mind to envision what you want instead of what you have right now. So this is the only way we can move forward past barriers, and it's the hardest thing to do. And it's why I'm making these videos, is for me to show you, and together we can do it together. So when you've learned to control yourself, you will have found the world within, which controls the world without. You will have become irresistible. Men and things will respond to your every wish without any apparent effort on your table. I'm just going to sign off right now. I'll talk to you later. This was a long video and I don't. Oh, all right. I guess it's still going. Chapter 4. Where were we? All right. So we have to express power, abundance, or any other constructive purpose. The emotions must be called upon to give feeling to the thought so that it will take form. How may this purpose be accomplished? This is the vital point. How may we develop the faith, the courage, the feeling, which will result in accomplishment? So, how do you develop the faith and the courage that results in accomplishment? I know how I do it. I develop faith and courage by putting myself out there and challenging myself and doing it hell or high water. I set a goal and I fucking reach for it. I'm either going to go all in or all out. Excuse my language. Well, you know, I do have a lot of different types of people who watch my videos, and I do have a lot of different types of personas that I have. Some are super sexy, some are super, uh, for school purposes only. Some are for old, like, mm, some are for children, some are for the elderly, some are for the blind, some are for my professors. So, like, I have different personas. So, right now, if I'm, and my mom actually, she got kind of said something that was about my photos. I had some photos taken, and, you know, he actually did a really great headshot, but I was all like ready to do like a boudoir photo shoot, like really sexy lingerie and like yoga and my little fitness wear. And I'm outside in the woods at my house. Like it's, a photo shoot just for myself. And I like to be sexy. And like, so my mom, she was like, oh, you need some boob tape or something like that? And I was like, what do you mean, what is boob tape? And she was like, you need you're wearing too much, you have too much cleavage, and if I'm just seeing your cleavage, then I'm sure that you know, other people probably notice that too. So I was like, well, Mom, you know, I really don't think that my friends and family are probably going to worry about that because most of people I know kind of like cleavage, and I know I love my cleavage. So there, I'm going to fucking wear this shirt if I want. And this is modest compared to what people wear out there. Are you kidding me? Jeez, all you have to do is turn on Instagram and it's like, oh wait, am I watching porn or are these girls doing fitness? Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like if you got it, flaunt it. Who gives a F what others do? You worry about you and I'll worry about me and I'll do what feels comfortable for me. You do what's comfortable for you. If you don't like what I do, then don't watch my shit, okay? You don't know what my photos are even used for. Like you don't even know why I took those photos. Like if I want to show off my cleavage, I'm going to show off my cleavage. And Mom, I'm sorry, I don't wear turtlenecks. I like my boobs. I like them a lot. So there. All right, so here, this is a scripture. Yeah, I just went off about how my mom doesn't like my boobs, and then I'm going to read from the Psalms. All right. I'm proud to be an American. But really, in all reality, who I love and how I live my life, that's up to me. Like it's up to me. And so just because you think not modest doesn't mean that I can't I don't love God. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I still have a spiritual path that I'm on, whether I have low cleavage or super high cleavage. There. How about that? See, I do care what people think too much. Bothers me. Actually, that was kind of cool. That's how I make clothes. I just tear a piece of fabric and, you know, tie it somewhere. All right, so now I'm probably going to go back and delete this video because it's kind of getting long and I'm super shy about doing this. I had a message and I got distracted. All right, whatever. I'm going back to the message because like I said, there seems like there's this force that's like trying to keep me from sharing what the message is. And I know that I have a message for you out there, and I want to bring it to you because I seek guidance all day long, every day from higher power and source. And so, like, I learned how to be able to be a spiritual channel and vessel of healing, light, and love to everybody. And I'm going to do it. That's what I'm here for. Today's message is that your sexual energy is not enough to make a relationship go. You cannot just have love without money. You cannot have money without love. Love and money are connected in a feeling of worth and value. And if you think that all you have to do is give out something sexually or give out something financially in order to be loved, you're just playing or you're just missing the point. Um, there comes a time when it's time to stop playing games. There comes a time when anything that distracts you from your calling and your purpose needs to be cut off. There comes a time when um, there comes a time when there's A new beginning, to stop playing games. It's a time of a new beginning to stop playing games by resisting true abundance and love. You're missing the point. If you think that resisting true love is actually going to be good for you, there comes a time when offering a passionate new start while also speaking up a little bit about what you want to do, taking a few steps forward, and resisting the true love of the female, divine, feminine aspect of who matches your vibration, your yin for your yang. Resisting that by only focusing on your particular self and your worth and your value and your path and what you want that's sustainable, what you want that's fruitful. So do not take shit from people, cut that out. And basically, if you need help on how to be someone who can stand firm and say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what I'll allow, this is what I won't allow. If you want to continue to be in the lukewarm, complacent zone, then get lost, basically. Because if I choose a path that is not fruitful and I'm the one to blame, so I have to take responsibility for myself. I can't blame my mom or my dad or my ex-boyfriend or the law or Babylon or Satan or the devil or bad energy or ill health or just depression, whatever. At the end of the day, take full responsibility for it all. And that's a hard thing to deal with. You know, if I do feel that way, I'm responsible to figure out how to get out of it. I'm responsible to reach out to someone who can help me. I'm responsible to ask God for help. I'm responsible to be conscious and aware of where my flaws are, where my faults are, and correct them. I have to be conscious and aware where if I once hurt someone, I pay it forward then to someone else if I can't make amends with them. The 12 steps is based on a spiritual process that we do every day. All of us, and I don't want to say should, but all of us do every day. So, if we want to recap so far what we've kind of gone through for our daily message, which I get from a variety of sources, we started with the Psalms that said that the divine life force energy of the creative life force energy of all of creation, the life force energy of all of creation is pure and right, and it satisfies the soul. And that ultimately my body is something that it's not just about science or my spirit, like, or chemistry in the body, but the body, the human body, is actually like or what we see around us in material form is the effect, and what we think is the cause. Cause and effect, how I think reflects what's outside of me. Therefore, I actually am 100% seeing images that are reflective of myself. So if I want to see different images, I have to think differently. I have to act differently. I'm now then, I read these affirmations so that you know how to apply. How do you start acting different? By realizing you got to cut off everything that's negative. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Decide now that you're going to take the bull by the horns and actually make your life the way you want. So we're coming to think of God as dwelling in man rather than as operating on them. Science goes a little way in its search and stops. Science finds the ever-present eternal energy, but religion finds the power behind the energy and locates it within man. The power behind this energy that's in us is source, life force, energy, God, spirit, intelligence. This is not a discovery. The Bible says the same thing. Don't you know that you're the temple of God, the living God? So what is this creative power, the world within? Here is the secret power of mastery. To overcome does not mean to go without things. Self-denial is not success. Self-denial, please. I used to be one of those people who self-deny. I always thought I was more righteous if I gave up things. It will not be helpful unless you're strong. The infinite is not a bankrupt, and we who are the representatives of infinite power should not be bankrupt. And if we wish to be of service to others, we must have power and more power. But to get it, we must give it. We must be of service. So, how can you be of service to others in your daily life? Your thought is made of motion. It gets carried around from one place to the other, just like electricity. So be careful about your thoughts because a lot of people don't realize that all your thoughts get stored in the ethers somewhere. Some little bird can pick it up and bring it to someone else through magic, through divine intuition, through supernatural awareness. So, if you're doing something and you're lying to someone or cheating or like not telling the whole truth or manipulating somebody or playing games with them, you inevitably are going to be hurting yourself because you'll reap that right back to you in another way. That's why I don't understand. Like, I get that. I think that's the actual word of integrity. Like, is that if you are hurting someone intentionally by lying to them, maybe it's just that you don't want to hurt them, so you don't tell them the truth, or you're afraid that if I really tell this person what I'm doing, then they won't want me anymore, or like then I won't get this from them or whatever. Like that's kind of messed up. So be careful. Um, but you can use mental strength and physical strength. You don't just go lift weights once and say I'm good. It's the same way with spirituality. You do it daily, regularly. So today what we want to do is take your original position, remove all tension, completely relax. Mentally let go of all adverse conditions such as hatred, anger, worry, jealousy, envy, sorrow. You can let go. You can intentionally and voluntarily let go. Determine to let go. Say this. I want to lead you through a deep relaxation. Close your eyes, take a spot on the mat. Just close your eyes wherever you are. I don't care what you're doing. Close your eyes, unless you're looking at something really, really beautiful or driving. Remove all tension from your body. Corpse pose. If you're in bed right now, this is actually what I really want to do is I want to make these videos without me going off on rabbit trails so that you can just listen to them as kind of like bedtime affirmations to fall asleep to. The reason that some people cannot let themselves go is because they're controlled by emotions instead of by their intellect. So I want you to really let go now. And when we work together, one-on-one, or I'm getting tired, it's late. Oh my God, it's 2 in the morning. I'm gonna help you let go. I'm gonna help you relax. You must succeed at this. You will just succeed in dismissing, eliminating, and destroying negative and destructive thoughts. They are the seed which is constantly germinating into discordant conditions of every conceivable kind and description. There is nothing truer than that the quality of thought which we entertain correlates certain externals in the outside world. This is the law from which there is no escape, and it is this law, this correlative of the thought with its object, that from time immemorial has led the people to believe in special providence. Closing out, um, if there's anyone out there who's feeling just a little bit on the let's see, curious side about guidance, needing guidance, I have this new tarot deck, and it's called the Erotic Tarot. It's kind of fun. Pretty much exactly what I'm saying is, you make your own reality. You create it the way that you want. And no one else, you can't control what anyone else does. You can't. But as you start resonating to different energies, you're going to actually be changing the people and environment around you naturally. It's not an easy process to become spiritually enlightened, actually. Think of what happened to Job. He was so blessed. He had everything in the whole world. And it all eventually just was taken from him. And people told him to curse God and die. His own wife told him that. He lost kids, he lost property, houses, he lost animals, his crops, everything. He got sick. And he was like, why is this happening? And all it was for him to realize that, like, his love for God is not based on these material things. And it wasn't even that he was vain. It wasn't even that he was, like, a bad person. None of that. It wasn't karma. It wasn't anything except that he needed to know that, there's a love that is undeniable no matter what shit you go through, and that's the love for the divine. That's the love that divine has for you. So there is completion. After you have completion in your work, you get to relax, and that is where you're at. Now it's time to take a chill pill, man. And we all know what you're gonna end up doing when you are taking a chill pill. It's gonna be like a total renewal of your entire world. And resting and completion is absolutely imperative to have rejuvenation. So is your sensual health and well-being. So basically, yeah. If you are going to be renewing your energy from within, um, you might do it in a way that is sexual and sensual. And that's one way that people release tension, especially if they, you know, really need to release and relax and let go, like the master key. Our sexual health is so important. And, you know, quite frankly, I've been doing health and wellness coaching for men for about 12 years. And trust me, I've had and heard all kinds of shit from all kinds of people about my name. I love naked yoga. Um, but what of I help people with their health, and I include sensuality and sexuality and in my coaching services, and to guide people through those challenges that they have in self-expression, and to help people recognize their vital energies and channel them and utilize them. And that includes sexual energy. So for a lot of people, their sexuality is a part of their health. You know, like we don't go around talking about certain things that we do as humans. And sex is one of those weird things. It's kind of taboo. It'd be like if I was sitting here talking to you about your intestines and something weird like that. Like no one wants to know what you're doing with your certain things, but that doesn't mean that guidance and proper instruction can't help you through um, how to have the absolute healthiest, most vibrant, dynamic, aligned, sexy, and confident, powerful body and person and spirit that you are. And so, for a lot of people, that's part of their life. And it's not an easy topic to navigate because a lot of people who are coupled have these sexual fantasies and desires that their partners aren't fulfilling. And a lot of women don't feel sexy when they are stressed. So a lot of women who are playing roles of being the provider, uh, they simply don't have it in them to feel sexy and to be pleasing to their husbands. A lot of women don't realize that if they're not catering to their husband's sexual needs, that their husband will most likely go elsewhere. And in fact, even if a woman does cater to her husband's sexual needs, he'll probably go elsewhere. And the amount of people who actually partake in extramarital affairs is ridiculous. It's like disgusting, actually. So, but the amount of people who are loyal and devoted couples can benefit if both partners are willing to explore and try new things, including tantric yoga and meditation and sensuality and touch and all those things. So, you can don't feel bad about your sexual desires. The thing to do is to be able to somehow communicate about it. Somehow communicate and just make sure you guys are on the same page. Like, hey, this is important to me. This is kind of something I've always wanted to try. Can we at least talk about it? At most times, your wife is going to look at you like you're a fucking creep. Like, what? Really? Why would you want that? Because what happens is a woman, um, if a woman is with her man and her man is telling her that he wants to try out these sexual fantasies, a lot of times what's going to happen is that woman's going to think that he wants to do that with other women and that she might lose him. And if she doesn't do it, like, who knows what people think? I don't know. I'm just one person. I don't know your story, but I know what happened to me was that I, at one point, um, went over the top to make someone's um, world really good. And what ended up happening was it actually destroyed my life. So I realized that, if I'm giving my energy, time, body, emotions, spirit to a person, then I'm also now connected to them on an energetical, spiritual, soulful level. And so being conscious about your sexual nature, your sexual activity, your sensual and spiritual desires, the ability to relax and unwind and let go and be restored and rejuvenated without drugs, You know, I see a lot of people who like they want to party, so they want to go get wasted or something. And it's like, no, like you don't even need anything to go into a trance, especially if you know someone who knows how to utilize energy. And so, um, my point is that yes, we all have certain desires to let go and totally relax and let go. And oftentimes that requires a really some people just like drugs. Some people have a tolerance. They can go drink 6 beers in a night and still be fine. Other people will be blacked out. Like, you know, it's the same way there. So who are you to tell me that if I drink 6 beers and black out that I'm an alcoholic? No, it just means that I actually just drank too much. You know what I mean? So basically, like, it's the same way with sex. Some people have a really high threshold and a very explorative sexual nature, and there's nothing wrong with that if you channel it properly. So, you know, the thing is that go ahead, channel your sexual energies the way that you need to make things happen for yourself, but do it in a healthy way that's respectful and that honors your word. Because if you are with someone and you're lying to them, or if you're a man who's with a woman and you're getting sexual fantasies fulfilled outside of your relationship, like that's something that's going to come back around to hurt yourself. It hurts your relationship and it hurts you. Um, your karma will come back to you in one way or another. And what I've found is that a lot of people's karma comes back in a way that has nothing to do with that incident. For example, like maybe you get hurt, or you know you get sick, or um, if you made someone feel like they were just a piece of meat. You might have someone come and take something from you that makes you feel like, damn, I feel violated in some way. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the same. Karma is not about like, oh, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Like, oh, I did this to hurt you, so now you're gonna hurt me back, or whatever. Like, karma is about, hey, the energy I put out there is the energy I get back. So if I'm out there, that's true. We all have to live out our karma. We all need grace in this life. No one needs to hold anything over anyone's head. That only hurts yourself. You have to let it go and release it. Does that mean you have to love the person and accept them? Does it mean you have to even like them? No. But you have to forgive them and let them go with love and light so that you don't fucking constrict your heart, so you don't cave in on yourself, so you don't corrode your own spirit. It's important. And the one way to do that is simply every day imagine that person on an altar before God and let God have his way with that person. And literally just imagine a big altar. Uh, and that person is just laying on the altar. And there's this energetic radiation, like sun rays, that's just shining on that person all day, all day, all day, every day. And God Almighty is having his way with that person. Let it go and know it's like I'm trusting the way the universe here, that I'm letting this person go, and any harm that they did to me will come back on them, and I have to set my self free from that. Get it off of me. I want to radiate a different energy that's positive now. So that's why forgiveness is important. Now, if someone continues to deliberately lie, cheat, whatever, it's kind of shame on me once, shame on me, shame on me, shame on me if I don't learn my lesson and change the situation. So that's why we're all here. All right, I'm gonna go. It's been an hour since I've been sitting here babbling, and I have no idea um, what um, who is even watching this. But being a new person on the YouTube, it doesn't matter who's watching it. I do thank you if you actually listen to this from start to begin, start to end. It's late. I'm so tired. And basically, if you don't mind, please like and subscribe to my channel. Every person matters. And I definitely am trying out a whole bunch of new things to see what will stick. So over time, I'll go back and most likely delete all these videos. But I'm just trying out a bunch of things that stick because I do kind of a whole lot of different things from yoga, health, fitness, nutrition, tarot, spirituality, etc. And I do actually have a lot of counsel and guidance for recovery, addiction, different ways that you can, start to get over old habits. It's the same card. That's crazy. All right. So yeah, pretty much. If you feel defeated in life, it's time to let it go and surrender. When you feel defeated, it's time to surrender. In this situation, what you're going to surrender to is the divine. And here's one way to do it. Simply ask. I can lead you through this too. Same kind of cards, guys. I'm changing the way that I'm seeing things in my life right now. My perspective is shifting and changing. I now am seeing things in the way that I want to see them. I now am focusing on only the good things around me. I now am recognizing my responsibility in manifesting and creating the situation. I now am, I'm now changing my perspective. I'm changing my perspective. I'm getting it now. I get it. I now am constantly surrounded by people who have my best interests at heart. And someone feels defeated, and weak. Someone feels like nothing they do is coming to fruition. Someone feels like nothing they do is coming to fruition. Wonder if that. If you're someone who feel like you have an old soul, or if you've ever had a spiritual encounter with someone where you're like, I know you from a past life or something. I don't know what the heck our connection is, but for some reason I feel like I know you. Something like that. And there's no new beginning. There's nothing new happening. There's nothing positive happening right now. There's something being offered to you that's going to give you insight. And that person is someone who has the interest in seeing you basically heal from and restore your body. That even though this is a time where you feel hopeless and defeated, um, if you feel like you're kind of losing out here and there's nothing new happening, um, there is some small offer that's being made, but there's no new beginning, and you are not really succeeding in life if you feel like that. If you feel like that, like there's someone who really feels like that. That there's like only small offers and nothing you do changes the situation. You feel completely stuck and trapped with no way out, and you don't know what the F to do. And it's about any situation that it's about a situation that has to do with all of your has to do with the world that you want to live. It has to do with how you want to live your life, and you don't want anyone getting in the way of how you want to live your life. And so you feel like if you continue to think about someone or be involved with them, that you won't have the life that you want, that somehow that will interfere with you, um, because you have a lot of options and you can do anything that you want. You can probably manifest anyone that you want, anything, any material wealth that you want. So like you're kind of afraid that there's no happiness with a person because they're going to keep you from um, they're going to keep you from, you might be afraid of that, or there's someone out there that feels hopeless right now. But trust me, your time is coming to relax, and you have strength, and you're grounded and balanced, and you're totally, absolutely 100% moving towards success, and you're working on it. And it's hard right now because it's coming slow. But taking the time to see things come to completion, um, while not okay, so you definitely are taking time to let things come into completion and not working very hard towards a small offer, because to the small offer of being open and honest, and out in the light, into intellectual and intuitive, um, basically you're walking towards your fulfillment by resting and not trying so freaking hard. Introspection on these things that are starting to come into your life, that are being illuminated, and shown upon. These things that are being illuminated are things that you're able to walk away from it or recognize it. And that's good. So that's your message. I don't know who this is for or what this means, if any of this means anything. But to someone out there, that's how you feel. You feel like, hey, there's no new beginning here. Nothing's going on. Nothing's working. I feel stuck. So I'm going to chill the F out and recognize and realize that everything works out for me for good in the long run, even if I take a break and even if I'm not really feeling very productive right now. I realize that even though things move a little bit slowly, or that, you know, there's certain things that are being presented to me that they represent part of what I want, but not really the whole picture. What I really truly want is being illuminated to me. What I truly don't want is being illuminated to me. And I'm not taking, yeah. So the message is I'm protecting myself. I'm going with my flow on my own, and you know, I'm gonna end this live video. I don't even think anyone's even watching this. I would be surprised. If you're watching this, why don't you subscribe and turn, like, actually let me know you're watching it. This gets deep. You know what I realized though about tarot and oracles is that it's really up to the person who's channeling the information to interpret it, what they're, or not always actually. It's like prophecy. Like someone can speak in tongues and another can recognize it. Someone's taking a leap of faith. There's movement towards your fulfillment. There's movement towards what satisfies you, that's mysteriously being constructed in the heavenlies or by another person. Something super spiritual is, you're moving towards an ancient awareness of your soul's path. And it's something that is intuitive and it's ingrained and innate, deeply ingrained in your soul. You're moving towards that. And the reason why, you don't even exactly know why, because it's supernatural. The supernatural guides you and leads you. You don't have to guard your heart so much anymore. You can move forward no matter how slow you are. You're moving forward and you're resisting being so guarded. But at the same time, you're also feeling more balanced, or you're not feeling balanced. This is saying you're resisting a feeling of security, a feeling of, work well done. You feel like a little agitated in your work, but you're moving forward. Frustration. Anyways, yeah. To me, what it seems like is that there's somebody who's watching who is feeling stuck, not exactly all that prosperous or productive in work, but taking a little breather in order to move forward, in order to have what you want, in order to, be that person that takes charge. But you're doing it slowly, like you're going slow, and that's okay. You are someone who kind of thinks about things a lot. You're intuitive in nature, and you don't want to go too fast. Like you don't want to. You're someone that thinks about yourself a lot. You're really selfish and think about yourself. What you want, and but you're resisting some of your old ways. You have victory. You know, you're totally victorious, even though you are somewhat of a, if you are a narcissist or someone who really thinks about their own needs more so than anything in the whole world, which most people do. But in terms of relationships, it doesn't work so much. So, you know, if that's how you are, you need to just be upfront about it. Like, hey, I'm a narcissist. Like, this is what other people have told me. You know, or if you're a woman or if you're a man, here's one trick. If there's someone you're seeing who's doing something you don't like, you can say, you know, I have a friend whose husband used to like, he was such a narcissist. He only thought about himself. And well, she ended up, you know, chopping his penis off. Her name was, and they were famous. Do you remember who they were in like the 90s? That woman that just chopped her husband's dick off one day? Like, that's what happens, you know? So you gotta be kind of like upfront about what your true intentions are. It's only nice and respectful. Like, have integrity. Fucking have the strength to be upfront about what you want. And I'm telling this to myself. I don't do this. This is why I'm going through this right now. I'm making this video so that I can teach myself by teaching others and actually practicing it. And until I'm ready, I'll be damned if I try to get myself into a relationship. I call it a relationship for a reason. I'm not ready for one. I know I'm not. That's why I don't do it. So, you know, it's like, of course, then what do? I manifest situationships that don't go anywhere because deep down inside, I don't want a relationship. It fucks me up because I recognize that I have issues. I have abandonment issues. I have jealousy like crazy. I don't trust men. I never will. And I don't want to be in a relationship where I don't have myself squared, you know? And if I meet a man who wants my attention, and you know, I'm not able to like put gas in my car to go visit him, what's the point? You know? So it doesn't matter necessarily what your feelings are. You have to use your head and your heart. And if you're ruled by your emotions, that means that you're um, misguided. So it's time to get that shit in check. Being straightforward with somebody and having a communication about what your needs and wants are and expectations, what you'll allow and won't allow, is the thing that will prevent heartbreak and feelings of being stabbed in the back. Like, if you just have the balls to just say to someone, instead of yell at them and get angry, freak out, hey, I'm not feeling like talking right now. Hey, I'm not interested in you playing mind games with me. Tell me what the fuck you want or get the fuck out of my life. You know? If you want to see me and see other people, tell me that. Be straight. Don't try to beat around the bush out of fear that you think I'm going to turn away or get angry. Because I'll turn away and get angry either way. It's a lose-lose situation. You might as well fucking be honest about it. Be fucking honest with yourself and other people. It's always darkest before dawn. If you want to have prosperity and wealth and new opportunities in your life, you have to resist the end. Bye.